Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Will and welcome to Copper Jacket TV. Hopefully everybody out there is doing well. So for those of you who are not aware, the NFA is completely off limits in states like California. In most states, items like suppressors are highly regulated and require federal approval, which in my opinion is unconstitutional, but at least there's some sort of path for people in those states. In California, that path is closed by a statewide ban, which means even if the NFA disappeared tomorrow, they would still be banned. Well, today we have some very exciting news when it comes to legalizing suppressors in California. This is a big one. You guys are not going to want to miss it, so stay tuned. Now, real quick before we get started, this video is sponsored by the King of Armor, RMA Armament. For those of you who are not aware, RMA has discontinued their entire men's lineup of plates in favor of the new, stronger, more durable, lightweight, and thinner plate called the 1165 Gen 2, which uses the new highly upgraded 99.7% high pure alumina oxide for its ultra high purity ceramic strike face, which is significantly stronger than the old ceramic strike face. And believe it or not, this new plate is only about 3/4 of an inch thick, and the 10x12 cut comes in at only 5.5 pounds, which is crazy light for a plate with an NIJ RF3 rating. Now, you've probably seen your favorite creators like Mr. Guns and Gear and Mac demonstrate the performance of this new plate that can stop M193, M855, 76239 API, even 30-06 M2 AP. Also, if you've been holding off for a good time to grab plates, now is definitely your time. RMA is already running their Black Friday event where I found some plates up to half off. So get your 100% American-made RMA plates today. I'll put the details down below. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So like I said in the beginning, suppressors are outright banned in California at the state level. So regardless of the NFA, unless you're part of that exempt class, you're out of luck. Even if you were willing to subject yourself to a federal registry and the tax stamp, you just can't. Well, there's a case that we've talked about multiple times on this channel that is currently before the Ninth Circuit that could undo that. This case is called Sanchez v. Bonta, and oral arguments are being held tomorrow morning, which is huge. Now, this is a very interesting case because, believe it or not, the plaintiff, Mr. Sanchez, made it all the way to the Ninth Circuit all on his own, all by himself without representation. This guy had no help, no support from any major 2A groups or anything like that. Now, Mr. Sanchez wanted a suppressor, so he applied to make one. He was denied because of California's unconstitutional law. He then decided to file a suit at the district court where the judge basically dismissed his Second Amendment claim with prejudice because according to the district court judge, suppressors are not arms and therefore they're not protected by the Second Amendment. Not giving up, however, Mr. Sanchez then appealed to the Ninth Circuit. Now, the Ninth Circuit could have just said, the same thing that the district court judge said and thrown this one in the trash. But instead, they basically insisted that Mr. Sanchez get legal counsel and even was willing to appoint him counsel. But that's where this case took a really interesting turn because realizing the importance of it, the CRPA, Michelle and Associates, and Cooper and Kirk stepped in and began representing Mr. Sanchez. This is actually what they had to say about it. So in a statement from the CRPA, they wrote this: Mr. Sanchez appealed, and after briefing was complete, on February 3rd, the Ninth Circuit issued an order stating that it was inclined to appoint counsel to represent Mr. Sanchez in his appeal and set a new briefing schedule. This is a somewhat unusual move and strongly indicates the panel is looking to make a precedential decision. We reached out to Mr. Sanchez to offer our assistance because of the broader implications that a case like this could have on the rights of all gun owners in the state. So now, instead of just representing himself, Mr. Sanchez has some real heavy hitters behind him, and this case has moved forward. Like I said before, oral arguments are tomorrow, and it's got a lot of people's ears perked up because a lot's happened since this case was initially filed at the district court. We even have the United States Department of Justice on record in a suppressor case at the Fifth Circuit saying that suppressors are in fact protected by the Second Amendment, which could be a huge help in this case. Here's what the DOJ said in their brief at the Fifth. So they wrote, the government now seeks leave to file supplemental response to Peterson's petition stating its position. As explained more fully in its supplemental response, the government's view is that the Second Amendment protects firearm accessories and components such as suppressors. As a result, restrictions on the possession of suppressors burden the right to bear arms, and a ban on the possession of suppressors or other similar accessories would be unconstitutional. Again, that's from the DOJ. So tomorrow's going to be a big day. I'm going to be watching the oral arguments. Want to see what California has to say and maybe gauge the response from the judges. And I don't know who the judges are going to be. It would be nice if we could simply replace all of the judges with Judge Van Dyke clones, but apparently that technology just doesn't exist yet. Now, I know when it comes to the 9th, we all just immediately sigh and brush it off as a loss before it even begins. History proves that we just don't win at the 9th. But I'm always going to try and stay optimistic and keep my fingers crossed. I guess we'll see. But from this point, I mean, it's still a major step forward. You know, this is a major step in the battle to restore liberty in California, and it's still an opportunity that we should not squander. Now, I'll let you guys know if, you know, how it goes and if anything changes. And if you're interested in watching, it'll be on the Ninth Circuit's YouTube channel. It's going to be at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning in the Pasadena courtroom. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, you know, consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps us a lot. It helps us spread our message. And I want to thank you all for that. So you all have a great day.